Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to Leisure Gaming. I am Leisure. Today I wanted to highlight my favorite pendulum deck, which are the Abyss Actors. This archetype is my favorite because no one really understands them, and more importantly, they are fun to play. The archetype's playing style relies on taking advantage of pendulum summoning. Their pendulum effects activate by returning pendulum monsters from the extra deck for more pendulum summons or for extra scales, while the several Abyss script spells that you have will support the deck. Keep in mind that when playing this deck, there are several effects that will lock you into Abyss Actors, so make sure you do all of your special summoning before that happens. To start with the deck profile, we have our usual hand traps of 3 Max C and 3 Ash Blossoms. Next, we have 1 Bestial Magnuma. You can target 1 light or dark monster from either graveyard and banish it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Now, this becomes a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, and if this card is special summoned, you can activate the effect to add 1 dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand except itself during the end phase. Next is 1 Bestial Druisworm. You can target 1 light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon this card. Once again, this is a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls and then send that to the graveyard. Now, if you do not have either one of these, 2 DD Crows work just as well. Next are 3 Abyss Actor Extras, and this is a 1-card combo starter. You contribute this card, place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck into your Pendulum Zone. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters except Abyss Actor monsters, nor activate the pendulum effect of Abyss Actor monsters. This card also does great going second because if it's in the Pendulum Zone and your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your Pendulum Zone and continue your combo. Next are 2 Abyss Actor Comic Relief. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. Once per turn during your standby phase, give control of this card to your opponent. Once per turn, if control of this face-up card changes, activate the effect where the owner of this card can destroy 1 set Abyss script spell in their spell and trap zone. Now, if Comic Relief is in the Pendulum Zone, you can target 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster you control and 1 monster your opponent control and switch control of both those monsters, then destroy this card. Next, we have 1 Sassy Rookie. The first time this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it is not destroyed. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's monster zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Abyss Actor monster from your deck, except Sassy Rookie. If this card in the Pendulum Zone is destroyed, you can target 1 level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Now, if it's in the Pendulum Zone, if an Abyss Actor monster or monsters you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy this card instead. Next are 3 Wild Hope. Once per turn, you can make this card gain 100 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control with different names until the end of this turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add 1 Abyss Actor card from your deck to your hand except Wild Hope. Now, if this card is in the Pendulum Zone, once per turn, you can target 1 Abyss Actor card in the other Pendulum Zone, and that monster becomes a 9 scale. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Abyss Actor monsters. The primary target for your pendulum effect is going to be your Mellow Madonna. Next, we have 3 Curtain Razor. Gains 1100 attack if you control no other monsters. Once per turn, you can send 1 Abyss script spell from your deck to the graveyard, add 1 face-up Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Now, if this is in your Pendulum Zone, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your Pendulum Zone. Next, we have 2 Superstars. When normal or special summon, your opponent's spell or trap cards and effects cannot be activated. Once per turn, you can set 1 Abyss script spell directly from your deck, but then send it to the graveyard during the end phase. Now, if this is in the Pendulum Zone, once per turn, you contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, then target 1 Abyss script spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Next are 2 Mellow Madonna. This card gains 100 attack for each Abyss script spell in your graveyard, and you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When a pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card from your hand. If an Abyss script spell card or effect is activated, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your deck, but return it to the hand during the end phase. Now, if this card is in your Pendulum Zone, which it definitely will be, you can pay 1000 life points, add 1 Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, except Mellow Madonna. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except Abyss Actor pendulum monsters. Your primary target for this effect is going to be your Wild Hope. Next is 1 Evil Heal. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1000 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control until the end of this turn. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target 1 Abyss script spell card in your graveyard and then set that card. If this card is in your Pendulum Zone, once per turn, you contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to the original attack of the tributed monster until the end of this turn. Going on to the spells, we have 2 Rise of the Abyss King. Target face-up cards on the field up to the number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters with different names you control and destroy them. If you control a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can add up to 2 Abyss Actor cards and or Abyss script spells with different names from your deck to your hand. Next are 3 Abyss Actor dress rehearsals at the start of main phase 1. Add 1 Abyss Actor card and 1 Abyss spell from your deck to your hand. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot pendulum summon monsters except Abyss Actor monsters. Next is 1 Dramatic Story. Target 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster you control, special summon 1 Abyss Actor monster from your deck with a different name, then place the targeted monster in your Pendulum Zone or destroy it. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can return up to 2 cards on the field to the hand. Next are 2 Abyss Playhouse Fantastic Theater. You can reveal 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster and 1 Abyss script spell in your hand. Add 1 Abyss script spell from your deck to your hand with a different name than the revealed spell. While you control a Pendulum Summon Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, any monster effect activated by your opponent becomes destroy 1 set spell or trap your opponent controls. This is a really great way to not only disrupt your opponent, but to also get your face down Abyss script spells destroyed due to their secondary effects when they're destroyed. Next are 2 Abyss-tainment. You contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, then target 1 Abyss script spell in your graveyard and set it to your field, and you can use this effect up to twice per turn. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon any number of Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your deck. And to round out the main deck, we have our usual spell and trap hand traps, 2 Call by the Grave, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. Going on to the extra deck, we have 1 Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon. When this card is special summoned, you can target 1 opponent's face-up attack position monster, return it to the hand. When a spell or trap card or another monster effect is activated, you can shuffle 1 face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. We have 1 Abyss Dweller. While this card has material attached that was originally water, all water monsters you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Your opponent cannot activate any card effects in their graveyard this turn. 1 Odd-Eyes Absolute Dragon. When any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the attack, then you can special summon 1 Odd-Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard. If this Xyz summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Odd-Eyes monster from your extra deck, except Odd-Eyes Absolute Dragon. Next are 2 Hyper Directors. You can target 1 card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon it, then place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster with a different name from your deck or face-up extra deck to your Pendulum Zone. Also, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Abyss Actor monsters. 1 Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. If this card is link summoned, you can add 1 pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. Once per turn, you can target 1 other face up card you control, destroy it, then add 1 face up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. If a card or cards in your pendulum zone leaves the field, draw 1 card. We have 1 Nightmare Phoenix. When this card is link summoned, you could discard 1 card, then target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. And if it was co-linked when this effect was activated, you can draw 1 card. The ever popular IP Masquerena. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, link summon 1 link monster using materials you control, including this card. A link monster that used this card as material cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Next is 1 Dark the Dark Charmer. You can target 1 dark monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon it to a zone this card points to. Now if this link summon card is destroyed by battle or destroyed by opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster zone, you can add 1 dark monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. 1 Beyond the Pendulum. If this card is link summoned in the extra monster zone, you can pay 1200 life points, add 1 pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, but for the rest of the turn, unless you pendulum summon after this effect resolves, you cannot activate monster effects, and the effect of any card in your pendulum zone are negated. If 2 monsters with different original levels are pendulum summoned at the same time to the zone this card points to, you can target 2 cards on the field and destroy them. Next are 2 Super Producers. During the main phase, you can target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, then you can apply one of the following effects. You can place 1 Abyss Playhouse Fantastic Theater from your deck face up in your field zone, or you can place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum Monster from your deck into your Pendulum Zone. We have 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and if this card is link summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 card on the field and shuffle it into the deck. Then if this card was co-linked, you can draw 1 card. While any co-linked Nightmare monsters are on the field, for your normal draw, in your draw phase, draw 1 card for each different card co-link. Next is 1 Appaloosa. The original attack of this card becomes 800 times the number of link monsters used for its link summon. Once per chain, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can make this card lose exactly 800 attack, and if you do, negate the activation. And lastly, 1 Underworld Goddess. If this card is link summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. This link summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster or monsters from the graveyard, you can negate the activation. So that's it for the Abyss Actors deck profile. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, go ahead, leave a like and subscribe. Also, go ahead, leave in the comments below what is your favorite pendulum deck to use. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Later.